Hi, I'm Brandon from Tilda, and in this tutorial, I'll show you how to create a blog or a corporate media. You will learn how to integrate it into the existing website and how to automate the publishing process. With our tools and features, you can launch blogs in various formats, quickly set them up, make the design nice and pretty, easily customize articles, and more. Before creating a blog, let's take a moment and see what blog format suits your needs best. In short, let's say there are two types of blogs. First one is updated frequently, once per day or once per week. For example, just like this blog made by an art gallery. Blog posts here are normally text-based and often include some images and videos. Layouts slightly vary from one article to another, but generally remain pretty similar. Another blog format is a digital magazine or a corporate media. Usually, new posts are shared not so often, once or twice per month, for example. However, in this case, each post is a carefully designed multimedia article, like in this corporate blog made by a co-working. They publish beautiful articles dedicated to productivity and time management, featuring full-screen images, videos, basic animation effects, and so on. In this tutorial, I will first create a simple blog like this one, using Tilda Feeds, a convenient built-in blogging tool. And then, I'll show you how to make a corporate media or a digital magazine. To build a frequently updated blog, such as this one, you want to use Tilda Feeds. It's a feature that saves your time and makes publishing daily news and blog posts easier. Let's take a look at it. This is the Feeds interface. It's easy to create and publish new posts here. Powerful Editor has all the options to create nice articles in no time. This is what a regular post looks like once published. If you want to make a unique post, say a multimedia project, you can always build it on a separate page using a full range of Tilda features and then add a link to it over here so that it becomes a part of a feed. By the way, there is no limit on the number of posts in your Feeds-based blog, unlike a regular Tilda project that can contain up to 500 pages. In Feeds, you shouldn't worry about this. You can also schedule posting. And down here, you can optimize every post and make it social media and SEO friendly. Categories or tags is an important feature that simplifies navigation across your blog and helps you organize your posts better. Set them up here. In your blog, you can simply switch between categories like that. To create your first feed, simply select any block you like from the News and Feeds category and customize its design. Now, let me show you how you can build a blog using Feeds and integrate it to your website. First, I need to sign up for Tilda. It's really fast. You just type in your name, email, and password. Then click the Sign Up button. Once I've signed up, a pop-up appears suggesting to pick a name for my new website. I name my project and hit the Create button. My first project was created, but there are no pages yet. Before I create my first page, let me activate a 2-week personal plan trial that will allow me to use all the features and templates available on Tilda for 14 days. Okay, let me go back to Dashboard and create my first page. Here, I select a blank page to start building my blog from scratch. To add a block that will be used for the feeds, I open the Blocks library, scroll down, and click the News and Feeds category. There are several blocks supporting feeds here. I'll go for this one. First, let me modify its title and subtitle. To edit the title, I simply click it and paste the text I need. Then I open the Content panel, click More, and add the subtitle for my blog into the block description field. Save and close. Done. Next, let's open the Content panel again. Here on top, we can set the feeds. At the moment, an example feed is connected to the block. To create a feed, click Feeds panel. Make sure you read this agreement. Then click Accept. Let's set a name for the feed and jump into the feed settings to see how to add and set up our first post. This is our feed interface. There are 3 posts already added here. They help you get a basic understanding of how a blog post looks and feeds. I won't need them for this tutorial, so I just delete them like that. Alright, let's create our first post by hitting the Add Post button here on the right. The first thing, as usual, is to select a title for the post. Let's say I want to create an article about an annual book fair, so I type October Book Fair. This is the blog post editor mode. Let me explain what we have here. On the right, there is a text box where you can add the content. And on the left, the post settings are located. Let me paste the text I prepared for the post into this text box. I use common copy-paste shortcuts, Command-C, Command-V for Mac, and Control-C, Control-V for Windows. Now, I would like to emphasize the first paragraph. To do this, I'll use this toolbar on top. Apart from the usual text editing options like font weight, adding a link, or bullet points, there is a text format button. You can set heading styles, turn the paragraph into a quote, a vertical bar appears to the left, like that, or make a nice preface. That's what I was looking for. You can also add a divider to mark the end of a section. Choose the color of the text, align it as you like, or clear all styles. These 2 buttons allow you to paste images and videos right into the text. Let me add a video at the end of my article. I click the video button and paste a YouTube link in this little window. You can also paste a link to Vimeo or embed a code. I click Insert and my video is already here. It works really fast. Now, let's see what parameters we can set for our post. The title and the description is what people see on your blog page, next to the thumbnails. A thumbnail can be added right here. Let me do it quickly. I drag and drop my picture here, and it's uploaded. You can also upload several images by selecting Gallery or paste a link to the video. Date is an important field. It allows you to schedule posts according to your content plan. Let me set a date for this post. Also, the date will be displayed next to the post if you choose to enable it. Next option allows you to assign 1 or several categories to the post. This simplifies the visitor's navigation and helps you keep your blog in order. Let's add a couple of categories. I first save the changes I made so far, then I click on the management of the categories, and a pop-up appears offering to create my first category. Think of them as tags. Okay, I added several categories. Now I close this pop-up and you see that the categories were added to the top of the feed dashboard. You can always modify them or add new ones via the Categories button here. By the way, did you notice? The thumbnail picture appeared here next to the post title, and the date can be seen here on the right. Let's get back to the post editing. Now, after the categories have been added, we can assign them to our post using this drop-down menu. I would select Event and Art for this one. You can always save your post as a draft and come back to it later, or set its visibility as published if this is the final version. Next option is very handy. Imagine you have created a sophisticated article on a separate page in Tilda and now want to make a blog post out of it. You don't need to sacrifice its layout and recreate it using this editor. You can simply paste the link to it or select it among the pages in your account, and it will become a part of your feed. Under the Additional tab, you can add the author info, type her name, link the name to a personal website, and upload a little portrait. You can pin this post to the top of the feed and choose to disable comments for it. The last tab is crucial for social media and search engine optimization. You have a full range of settings to customize your post for Facebook. Modify post title, description, and image to make your post look stunning when shared on social media. Next, there are SEO parameters: title, description, keywords, followed by these checkboxes. Here you can prevent search engines from indexing this specific post or from following links on this page. Down here, you can delete the post. Alright, now let me save this post and quickly fill my feed with others. Done. This is the list of my posts. Now let's quickly modify the feed settings by clicking Settings next to the categories. Here we can set the title and the description for the entire feed, set the default author information, It's handy if one person is posting more often than others. Just like in site settings in a regular Tilda project, you can select the header and footer, sections that will appear on all the posts in this feed. It's useful to add comments from Facebook or Instagram under each post, for example. Additional settings enable you to modify the time zone. It's important for post scheduling. Set the language and modify other advanced options here. OK. Let's now see how we connect our feeds to the web page on Tilda and launch our blog. Let's reload the blog page and open the content panel of the blog again. Now the feed we have just created can be selected from this drop-down menu. You can also select only one category to the blog and not the entire feed if you want to have separate blogs for each topic. I save the changes and the feed is uploaded. You can also switch between the categories while in the editor. Let's say I want to modify the look of the category buttons. I open the Settings panel and select Categories Settings. Here I would like to delete the border lines. You can customize plenty of things in the Settings panel. For example, you can change the number of posts per row or decide how time and date will be shown for each post. Once you connect a feed to the blog, a new button, Posts, appears next to the Content button. It brings you directly to the feed settings, which is very handy to quickly add new posts or modify parameters for the existing ones. Okay, now let's publish the page. Here is what our blog looks like. I can instantly see the posts and sort them by switching the categories. Side note, by default, categories are displayed as clickable tags under each post, making it easy for the visitors to jump directly to related articles without going back to the main page. From now on, this block will be updated automatically. You won't need to add new posts manually or republish the page. Just make a new post in your feeds, set the publish date and time, and it's done. Let me now show you how to add new posts to your feeds from the website dashboard. Here we are. Above the list of the pages, a new button appeared, Feeds. Let's click it. It brings us to the Feeds Management page, which we have seen previously in this video. Here you can add new feeds and posts, modify and schedule your content, set the SEO info, and so on. All the feeds-related actions can be performed in this panel. Once the post is set up, it appears automatically in your blog. Before we move to the next part of our tutorial, there are a couple of things that I want to show you really quickly. Firstly, page settings. Here we modify the title and the description of the blog page, as well as the page URL. I'll name it News. I would also recommend you to add a badge, which is an image that appears in search engines, social media, and browser tabs as a thumbnail, like this one. Secondly, I want to show you how to add a custom domain. When we published our page, we used the default Tilda subdomain. In Site Settings, we can modify it or assign your own domain name in the Domain tab over here. Alright, now let's move ahead and see how to integrate our blog into an existing website. I'll quickly create one for an art gallery. Here it is. Now I want to add my blog as a section to my art gallery website. It has to be accessible from the menu. To do this, I go to the main page of my website, open the Content panel of the menu, and select the Menu Items tab. Here, I want to add another item and link it to the blog page. I click Add Menu Item, select the title for it, let it be News. In the link field, I don't need to paste the full URL address to my blog page. It's enough to click Link to Page and select the blog out of the list. Done. Let's see how it works. Right, the new menu button works. Did you notice that we can't come back to the main page from the blog page? It's easy to fix it. You just need to create a separate page with the menu block and assign it as a header for all pages of your project. Let me do it now. I copy the menu from the main page. Then I create a new blank page, add any element to paste our menu, Then I delete this text element and publish the page. Back to Dashboard. I name the page Menu, then open Site Settings and assign it as a header. The last thing to do is to republish all the pages of the project. Done. Now let's open the main page. We can delete this menu block as the menu is in the header now. I switch to the blog and back to the main page. Sweet. What if I also want to have the latest posts on the main page so that the visitors can easily check the news? I click plus right under the agenda and add a block from the News and Feeds category. Now I quickly modify its title and connect my feed to it. Done. The thing is that I want to display only 2 latest posts on the main page, not all of them. I open the Settings panel. Under the Main Settings tab, there's an option Number of Items to show before Load More button. I type 2. Okay, now we only have 2 posts in the grid, but the grid is still set up for the 3 items per row. Let's fix it. I go back to the Settings panel, open Main Settings, and set 2 blocks in a row. Save the changes. Now it looks nice. I think that I won't need the list of categories displayed here, as it can be a misleading option considering that we have only 2 latest posts on the main page. To remove it, I open the Settings panel, click the Categories Settings tab, and tick the checkbox Hide the list of feed sections. Save and close. Now the categories are not visible anymore, yet each post keeps its tag on the thumbnail. To connect this block to the blog page containing all the posts, I need to add a button down here. In the Content panel, I click More. Here I fill in the title for the All Posts button. I'll call it Show More. Next, I link this button to the blog page, just like I did for the menu item. I select it from the list of pages. Done. Let me quickly modify the button color to make it in line with the page design. Okay, let's see how it works. Perfect. The button is active. Everything worked out. I would also like the visitors to subscribe to my blog updates. So I'll add 2 blocks under the blog grid, a title and a form. Then I modify the content and the look of these blocks. Next step is to connect the form to one of the data capture services and start receiving your visitors' info. For this, I open Site Settings and select the Forms tab. Here you have a bunch of integrated services that you can connect your form to. I'll go for the email solution. Here, I enter the email address which will be used to receive form submissions. Next step is to confirm your email. Let me do it quickly. Alright, I have just confirmed my email address. As you can see, its status over here was updated. Let's check it again. I go to the Content panel of the blog, and now my email is connected to the form. Alright, let's republish the main page. In less than half an hour, we have created a blog using feeds, connected it to the existing Tilda website, and set up a subscription form. Now let's see an alternative way to build a blog on Tilda. Let's create another type of blog, a co-working corporate media. As you can see, posts are a bit different here. Each one is a carefully designed Tilda page that takes longer to create than a regular newsfeed post. We won't use feeds here as we don't need to publish a bunch of news every day or two, and thus automate the process. We'll create several blog posts first, and then we'll connect them to the blog page. I have prepared several blog articles in advance. You can see them here in the list of pages. When I need to make a new post, I simply hit this Create New Page button. This blog is dedicated to productivity and mainly consists of educational articles. Check our tutorial on how to make a long-form article to learn more about designing a nice page on Tilda. There is one important thing I want to highlight here. To make the pages look nice in the blog grid, we need to add a title, description, and an image to each post. To do this, I open Page Settings like that and assign a title and description here in the first tab. It is also important to customize the URL address to make the page SEO friendly. You can either use a free Tilda subdomain for your website, like I'm doing here, or replace it with your custom domain in the site settings. Then, set the last part of the URL. It is usually called the subdirectory for each post. Okay, then I open the Badge tab and upload an image. It will be shown in the blog grid, as well as in the Facebook preview if your post will be shared on social. It's important to add it for each post. Once the articles are ready, we need to create a main page for our blog. Let me show you how to do it. I click Create New Page and select a blank page. First, I need a cover for my blog page. I click More Blocks to open the blocks library. Select the cover category and pick any block I like. Say this narrow one. I modify the background picture and set the title Productivity Blog. To add a subtitle, I open the Content panel and type a short description of the blog. Next, I need to create the grid. I click this little plus to add a new block. Scroll down the blocks library to the index category and select a block I like. Let's say this one. Now, let's customize the content and connect our articles to the block. I open the Content panel and see all the pages of the website. These checkboxes allow me to select pages I want to add to my blog with one click, just like that. When a new post is composed, it will be displayed here in the list. Alright, I save the changes and the block adapts to the content. You can see that images, titles, and descriptions were uploaded. Let's say I don't want the dates to be displayed next to the posts in my grid. To customize the look of the block, I open the Settings panel. Here I can uncheck the option Show Date, and the date is not visible anymore. Same options are available for the post title, subtitle, and description. I would also like to have 4 posts per row rather than 3. I open the Settings panel and select 4 in this little drop-down under Blocks in a Row. Saved. Now I have 4 posts in each row. I think my blog page is ready. Let me publish it. I set the URL address. Remember that you can always connect your custom domain in site settings. Alright, here it is. If I click a thumbnail, the article opens, so it works. Let me add a title for my blog page in the dashboard so that I won't confuse it with other pages. Now I want to add a block to my website homepage, featuring the latest articles from the blog and a button linked to the blog page. Let's say I want to add a block here, replacing this full screen block, which I delete like that. Then I open the blocks library using the plus button and select the index block. I think this one fits well here. Now I just have to select the latest articles from the content panel. Done. Next step. A button. I open the library again, go to the Form and Button category, and pick a block with a single button. I link it to the blog page in the Content panel. Modify its title, and then I customize its look. Like that. I also add a title block above it and type the name of the blog so that the blog posts don't appear out of the blue. Let me slightly improve the design of my blog. Perfect. Now we have a complete section connected to the blog on the main page. The only thing left for me is to connect the blog page back to the main one. Here, I won't add a menu as it would only complicate navigation on my one-page co-working website. Instead, I add a single button under the blog, bringing visitors back to the main page. Since I already have a block with a button, I just copy it like that, then I switch to the blog page and paste it under the index block. That was fast, wasn't it? Now I change the button title and the link. This one should bring us to the co-working page. Cool. Let's republish all pages and see how the blog was integrated. Everything is all right. The buttons work. The articles look nice. Navigation is simple and intuitive. Great, we are done here. So to summarize, we have created 2 different blogs on Tilda. First, we made a frequently updated newsfeed for the art gallery using feeds. We also added a subscription form and the most recent posts to the main page and linked to the blog to the website via menu. Then, we created a blog consisting of beautiful log-form articles. We added blog highlights to the main page and used buttons to link the blog and the main page. Thanks for watching this tutorial. I wish you to create powerful and beautiful blogs. If you have any questions or doubts, please let us know. We are always available and ready to help. And for now, bye-bye.